Hello everybody, Professor Toybox here, and today I'm going to start showing you how to build my Tron toy box. I have had a lot of people ask me how they can download and play this toy box, and the answer is you can't. I play Disney Infinity on the Wii U, and modders have not yet figured out how to do toy box sharing from the Wii U. So if you want to play my Tron toy box, or any of my toy boxes, you still need to build them for yourself, which is why I'm still producing how to build videos for my toy box. Now, if someone who's on PC or PS4, PS5 wants to recreate this toy box on their system and share it with the community, they are welcome to do that. But I can't do that, and neither can they unless I show them how to build it, which is why I'm here today. So let's get to it. I am starting in a brand new empty toy box, and the first thing I'm going to do is set the sky, because I need to determine the orientation of this toy box before I can start building anything. And the sky we're going to use, as I have mentioned and as you have seen, is the 1982 Tron sky from 2.0. It's the above the grid sky. And now that the sky is set, we can delete that. And let's go ahead and set the corresponding terrain theme, which is Flynn's World. Okay. Now, we need to figure out the orientation of the toy box. And this is why it matters. Some of the areas that I need to build are going to be fairly large, like the light cycle arena and the canyon maze. And so one of the challenges that I had when I was designing this world was how to keep it as small as possible so that it did not use up a ton of memory. Because the larger your toy box is, the more memory it will consume, even if you don't place very many building pieces in your world. Just the sheer size of it will consume memory. And one of these days I'm going to show that on my Toy Box Tutorials series. But anyway, my idea was to try to keep the toy box small as I could, was to have the toy box double back on itself. The player will travel in one direction on the ground, and then the solar sailor light beams will bring them back above the world that they just traveled over. And the light beams will take them to the MCP core, which is over there in the Sky Dome. And so I want to build the terrain in the direction that takes us away from that, which is that direction there. So toward those little towers with the pinkish purple circles above them, that's the direction we want to build. All right. And so the player will travel that direction on the ground. When they get up above the terrain, they're going to travel back in that direction towards the MCP. And the MCP will be on that corner of the toy box. All right, so hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, so we're going to begin with the large terrain block here, which is this thing. And let me grab my notes here. Yeah. All right, so we're going to place this right on the edge like that. And I don't know, that is the right orientation. I was trying to look at the terrain and see. That looks like that's correct. All right, so let's do this. We're going to place 4 pieces like that. And then we're going to come up here to this side and do 2 more up here. Okay? And then this piece, I'm going to slide over temporarily, about like that. I'm going to grab this small terrain block here. We're going to line this up with the edge of that piece. And I want to bring this back here. And then we'll bring this piece over. Okay, So again, we started off over here, and that's what we've built so far. And I've left a space here for the disc duel arena, and I've left room for the underground section at the start of the toy box, which will be right there. Okay, so that's what we have so far. All right, let's grab this piece again. And now we're going to go to the smaller, same size length and width, but smaller height. We're going to put this up here like this, and I'm going to change the theme now to the Death Star theme, because I need the disc duel arena to use a different floor texture. And if you're on a system with more memory, you can use some racetrack pieces, and I'll show you when we get to that point. But for right now, I'm going to use this. And this is the cheapest way to get a texture change without using up memory. So the block textures don't take up a lot of memory, not like the blocks themselves do. All right, so this gives us something different to drive on for that arena. Okay, I'm going to come down and grab this last piece again. We're going to switch this back now to the Flynn's World theme. This will be the floor underneath our canyons. And I'm waiting for that to update. There we go. And the reason I'm using the thinner block rather than the taller block like we started with is because I need some space underneath this for the racetrack. Okay. So we're going to do 2 more of these. The canyons fit under there. And then 2 more, and this is that little section when you come out of the canyons on the end. So now we'll come over and grab this block, which is the tall version again. That's going to sit over here on the end, and that is the foundation for the I/O tower. And then on this side, let's see, did we use this for that too? Hang on a second. I need to pull up my screen grabs here. Make sure I've got this right. Okay. Yeah, we just used this piece here. And then we set that up like that. And that will be where the hangar is for the solar sailor. And we'll build that up later. All right, there's another section out over this way, but I'm going to wait to build that when we build the racetrack. But that is the foundation for the toy box, and as you can see, it's pretty big. I had to have a large area for the light cycle because the vehicles move so fast. I had to have a large area for the canyon maze. And we had to have a large area for the start over here on the game grid. So already that's pretty big. And if we come out of the editor, it's not doing too bad on memory so far. But if we kept going in that direction to towards an MCP way down that way, then this toy box memory would probably be triple use of what I've gotten there so far. I'd be using triple of what I'm using. So that's why we have it double back on itself. Okay, next thing we're going to do is work on this little starting area. So let me grab my screenshots for that. Make sure I have that. Okay. Alright, we're going to use this piece. Sorry for that delay. Alright, so this is going to sit right in here. This is going to be the floor of the underground cave. We're going to drop this down 1. Alright. We're going to put 3 of these down. And we'll come back to that in a minute. We're going to put these pieces in here. Close that off. And I'm going to put a couple of pieces over here, followed by this. So this gives us our little starting room, that hallway that leads down here, and now we need the steps that climb out of this. So we're going to put this tall terrain block here in the corner, and then we need to scroll over and pick up some climbing steps. And we have to go quite a ways to find this. Unfortunately. I don't think it would have made any difference which way I went. Here we go. So we're going to use this piece here. So this gives us some steps to climb to get up where we need to go. Okay, and then let's pick this piece back up and put it back to get back to this part of the drawer. And we're going to use these pieces for the ceiling. Like that. So now we have our little underground area all tucked away. Okay, let's scroll back over to the right one more time. I should have grabbed this piece when we passed it earlier, but I wasn't thinking. Alright, so we're going to use this. I'm going to put this right on the edge, just like that. This is where you come out and you're looking over that direction and get your first look at the sky dome for the toy box. And I'm going to put a couple more of these out here. I'm just trying to figure out the proper orientation on this. Alright, so we're going to place another one over here, like this. And then this one is going to kind of line up on the edge there, just like you see. And I'm trying to create a little wall here, where this wall here kind of joins that wall there. There's a little bit of a gap, but that's okay. Alright, so then you come up out of there, and you're in the first little area where you battle some guys. Pick that piece up and put it back. Go to the next size smaller. We'll drop this right on the corner. Go back and pick up our mountain again. We're going to put one up here so this doesn't look too flat. Not that I'm overly concerned about that, because we are talking simple geometric shapes, but since I'm already using this model and I've loaded it into memory, it doesn't cost a lot to add some extras. Alright, so here is our opening area. And that's looking pretty good. Alright, next let's move over here to the disc duel arena. And let's put this in next. And I want to grab, let's see, probably want to grab this block under here. Okay, and this piece like that. And then we're going to put a ring of pieces here around the perimeter of this thing. So we'll start with that. Oops. Didn't mean to go all the way that far. Okay. And if you want, you can go ahead and stack these. It wouldn't hurt to do that. It's not going to really change the functionality of this room, but the idea, though, is you don't want to fall into this pit. Okay. So there's the pit that we're going to use for our disc duel arena. And now the entrance on this thing, let me find that screenshot here. Make sure I recreate this right. And probably the best way to do this is going to be to start on this end. When we frame in the light cycle, we're going to need a wall around that area. And so we're going to place a piece here, but I'm going to move it one nudge to the left, just so we don't have a gap underneath there. Okay. And this piece is going to sit like this. So, as if I had not moved this one nudge to the left. And then we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those total. And let's come up to the basic blocks. Oops. And we're going to come over here and place this here. And I'm going to use the blocks with a different texture here to try to highlight the opening for these arenas so that the player can find them. And there's a Tron theme here in the blocks, so we're going to use that theme. Alright, so that's going to be the opening for the disc duel, or the light cycle arena. So then this is going to come over this way. And, yeah, all the way over. Okay. And then again, we're going to put this right on the edge, one nudge to the right this time. And that will do next time to frame that in. Coming back over here, we're going to frame in the entrance now for the disc duel arena. This is going to be a narrower entrance. We're going to use this short block wall for the sides. And then we'll pick this piece up, put it back. And it's actually this size is what we need. We're going to line it up like that. And take that back. Let's slide this over. I want this in here. There we go. And then this is going to sit right here, centered on those two blocks, one nudge to the right. So it's not perfectly centered, but when we get to the build here for this, you'll see why that's important. When we build the actual game. Alright, and since we're right here, let's go ahead and put in the little details here for this. So we need some blocks, and I'm going to use the wedges like that. We're going to put this right up here against the edge of that, and we're going to change the theme now. And we're going to use the red theme that was back here, the red gloss. This is kind of what you saw in the movie for the Disc Duel Arena in the 1982 film. I think their little arrow actually pointed up, but I kind of like the downward arrow here better. And there was one that was red and there was one that was green. So on this side we're going to put the green in. We'll use the green gloss. Oops. There we go. Alright, so there is our build for the Disc Duel Arena. Okay, how are we doing on time? Yeah, we're doing pretty good actually. Let's go ahead and frame in the light cycle arena here. That won't take too long. I'm just going to run a row of these all the way down to there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. This is actually a pretty straightforward build. As I mentioned in the making of documentary, one of the advantages of using the 1982 theme is CGI back then used a lot simpler graphics, which means I can get away with using very simple shapes here and not a whole lot of detail. So that's what you see in the build. And that's why it kind of goes pretty quick. Alright, let me get to my canyon pieces here. Yeah. Alright, so this is going to sit kind of mirroring the one on the far end. So if this did not overlap the way it does, the edge of it would have come out to right here. Okay, so that's where this first block sits. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and this short little guy. And then the same thing from the other side. and that will be the entrance to the canyons. So now we have our light cycle arena all framed in, which is pretty good. But there's a little bit more we need to do here, but I think that's going to take me longer than 5 minutes to do. And so I think this is a good stopping point for today. Next time I'll finish building the light cycle arena and the canyon maze. Until then, I want to thank you for watching. Before you go, please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment to let me know if you're planning to build this toy box for yourself and what part of the build you're most looking forward to. That's all for me today. Take care.